Hello everyone, in this recording I'm going to show the demos for Lab 2 and Lab 4 in the Chapter 2 reading materials. On Tuesday we did the Lab 1 and Lab 3. So we have two more. Lab 2 is really straightforward, is using a pivot table to analyze the segregation of duties. So the original data, you have all of the transactions. It's like making journal entries in the financial accounting system. And the focus here is we are trying to analyze and detect an evaluation of the segregation of duties because the system requires the people entered the journal entry cannot be the same person to approve the journal entry. So in other words, you are checking, so majorly we focus on column F and column G. We are expecting the two persons to enter the journal entry and approve the journal entry should not be the same person. Okay, but with a large volume of data by like a zero check by the naked eye is very hard to check all of the transactions. But we can use a pivot table to quickly identify any variations. To do this, so when you see the original data is only a worksheet, I already converted into a into a table. So first, if you open the original data set, so make sure your mouse is in the data range and use the format as table. Okay, so you can choose the different layouts you preferred. So convert it into a table, and then I'm going to start insert. Or if you already see summarize with a pivot table, you can go from there also. The interesting thing is when initially open the worksheets, because Excel is very they have some artificial intelligence. They probably already detect what's my purpose. They already gave a suggested data analytics. So they already compile a pivot table, ask you, do you want to proceed? You can go from there, so using the suggested, but I'm doing this, okay, so manually by myself. So inside the table, so going to insert pivot table, and this should be, okay, the table range. And then I want my result in a new worksheet. That's normally what I do. And then click on OK, and you can see all of the data fields. Because I'm looking for really not a numerical calculation for the transaction amount, I'm looking for the position, right? So I'm going to drag the entered into the row, and approved is the column. So you construct a two-way table to see do we have any transaction entered and approved by the same person. Okay, so right now I just putting the the row is the name, I believe. Okay, and then you have the other two on the columns. Then I'm using so you can use either the debit or credit. So debit and credit as a way to find the valuation of the segregation of duties, okay, to see whether a transaction approved and entered by the same person or by different persons. So I'm going to use the debit into the values, but my interest is not really about the values, so I'm going to change the value field setting to count. So count means you can see count of the, so you can see the count of the transactions, okay, entered or approved by this combination of the clerks or like the staff members. And so you give yourself a reminder, okay, like the row I'm putting here is the person who entered the transaction. So we have two. MW and VR. Those are the person. And if you want to give a reminder, you can change. They see the person entered. Okay, who entered the transaction? And then the column is approved. So the users can easily see, okay, what we are doing here. So MWVR are the two persons handling entering the journal entry, and approval, that's probably supervisors or managers, right? We have AC and DH. And interestingly, probably you already noticed, we have a VR. And since we already have one person as VR to enter the transaction, so is this one, okay, like this number, this count, so this transaction is a little bit suspicious at this time because it's not supposed to happen. So VR enter the journal entry, and also he or she approved the journal entry that's not supposed to be the right situation. So there's something variation of the rules. But the other four cells, okay, like they should be consistent with, it not should be the concern because we always have like the person enter the transaction and the person approved, they are different. And so that's the first, like the result. And you can further, you can see in the book, they have different questions you can drill down. For example, I can double click the number one, so I can see what's the detailed about that one transaction. Okay, that's a January 23rd. And VR entered a training expense for $500 and make a payment with cash. So entered and approved by the same person. Okay, then you can investigate, is this a real transaction or is this a fake transaction or is a error or maybe even a fraud? Okay, so getting nailed down to that transaction and pull the information and check the details. Okay, so that's a nice thing. You can start from here using the pivot. So I'm backing to, and again, okay, if you want to see like these 13 transactions with this combination of entered and approved, so we can double click for those transactions, okay, using different days. So diagnostic, so lab 2 is a very simple case, how to use the pivot table to perform diagnostic analysis. Okay, what's happened, and you can find the reasons. And then, so I will leave you to check like more questions from the book, okay, after we get this initial result. And then I'm going to show the last lab, so lab 4. So let me bring it to the screen and share this new. Yeah, hopefully you already can see the lab 4 data worksheets. I'm going to enlarge this, zoom in. So you can see it more clearly. Lab 4 is a demo of prescriptive analysis using the CVP analysis, like break-even, sales, target profit, contribution margin, income statement. That's what we have learned from Accounting 232. So first, the original worksheets, you are looking for 12 months of data about, you can construct the contribution margin income statement. But the calculation is not done yet. Okay, so first we need to finish the calculation based upon the given items. So we have the price per unit, and then sales unit, units of sold, then unit cost, and fixed cost. This unit cost is supposed to be your unit variable cost, or even they didn't put it here, the word of the unit variable cost, because contribution margin income statement will separate the cost into variable and fixed. The fixed cost is a constant cost in the accounting periods. It wouldn't change. So we don't express them with the unit. Okay, but the unit variable, the unit cost is kind of a constant or like a variable. Okay, so you can see we have different variable cost per month, but the fixed cost is constant. So let me calculate the numbers for 1 month, and then we can copy the formula to the other months. So variable cost, this one is the total variable cost. So it will equal to the unit of sales multiplied by the unit variable cost. And then total cost will equal to the total fixed cost plus total variable cost. And then sales revenue equals to the price per unit multiplied by the unit of sales. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so you can see the net income will equal to the sales revenue minus the total cost. In this case, we got 0. Okay, it's like 400 is our break-even sales. Okay, no profit and no loss, break even. So let's copy this formula to all the other months. Then in that case, you got a different level of losses. Or it's similarly, we are not making any profit or in any of the months, but we can, this is only a demo. And then you can try the break even or profit, so we can see how much, like how many sales units we need to increase so we can make break even. So January is already break even, right? So that means no profits and no loss. Then let's take a look for February. We have 300 sales units and the same sales price per unit and a slightly lower unit variable cost. Right now, we are suffering a 220 net loss, rather than profit. Then if the manager asking, how, if we want to break even in February, how many the units of sales should be? Break even. So my question is the break even units of sales. And we can do this. Certainly you can use the formula, like, writing on the paper is like solve a question in accounting 232, right? But here we can use a Excel to quickly find out the break-even units rather than calculate the formula by ourselves. So to do this, you need to go let me move this. So use the data. I think, let me see. Data, okay. And what if, what if analysis? There are 3 tools on the what if analysis, and we are going to use GoSeek. GoSeek. GoSeek, in general, the tools help you if you define a goal, like define the goal to break even or making a certain amount of profit. Then you can check how many units I need to sell or how much the price per unit, and even the cost information. Okay, it's a very useful tools. We can set up a goal and check the inputs. So click on the goal seek. I think I need to put it here. Oh. So going to here, net income. Okay, this is my goal. Okay, I will put it at 0 later. Okay, you need to first put the mouse or the cursor. Okay, in the cell, you want to set up the goal, then click on the what if analysis and goal seek. And now you can see the goal seek is already fixed on C9 is my net income. Okay, I want this value to be 0. Right, that's my goal. Okay, break even income, okay, is 0. And I want to change the row of the unit, okay, because this is, I want to find out the break even sales unit. So you can manually type, okay, this should be C3, or use the arrow and refer, okay, to the is a fixed row. So again, so the purpose, this is your goal. C9 is the goal of the cell you want to set up to 0. And you can imagine later, or also can set up to 100, 200 target profit. So you can perform the break-even sales or target profits using the same goal seek. Then once I fix, okay, I'm referring to the unit of sales, looking how the column will change once I click on the OK. So the units of the sales will increase from 300 to almost 390. Okay, and you can imagine I couldn't have a decimal units. Okay, probably 385. And in that case, we'll reach the break even. We break even rather than have a $220 loss. And also, because the units changed, the fixed cost wouldn't change, but the total variable cost, and the sales revenue will change as well. Okay, so it's like another contribution income calculation, but all done by the Excel. Okay, that's February. And then let's try another one. So you can do this break even for all of the remaining months. Okay, let's just do one more. So, oh, okay. Because I didn't confirm. Okay, let's try one more time. Zero and C9, C3. Okay. And okay, once you click on it, they will stay it's like your planning or budget, right? And let's do something, and you can do similar thing, for example, March. Okay, like for March, right now I'm suffering 190 loss with 300 sales units. But I do have a lower variable cost per unit. Okay, let's quickly try another break-even analysis. And D9 set up to 0. And by changing the cell of D3. Okay, and then okay, you did another break even for March. And then for April, let's do something else. Okay, how about I'm not satisfied with break even. Okay, I want to make, for example, $100 profit. So April, I'm setting up my goal to 100 profit, okay, positive. Still, I'm looking for how many units I needed to increase. And okay, you got a simulation for the goal target profit. Okay, this is target profit. And the prior one I did is a break even. And this is also a break even for Mart. Okay. And by doing this, I'm looking for the, the inputs is the sale I want to change is the units of sales. You also can change the other variables as you're interested. For example, in May, okay, let me do something else. In May, suppose I couldn't change I don't want to change the units of sales. I want to see, do I have any room to increase my price, or increase the price per unit so I can break even. And now here, let's try, the goal seek again. Okay, and also I'm looking for break even. But this time I'm not looking for the volume, the sales unit change. I'm looking for the price. Okay, how how high the price I can set up so I can break even. And then let's check. Okay, you can see if you can increase your sales price about $1, okay, almost to $8 per unit. We also can break even without change the sales of units. That normally happens when you have a popular product, right? So you can manipulate or you can control the price a little bit better, right? Still convincing the customer to purchase the product. Okay, so it's really depending on the dynamics you are trying to analyze the products. And I will keep it here. Okay, so still break even, but by changing the price. Okay. And then let's try another one for June. Maybe this time I'm setting up a profit, okay, for 100. But this time I'm looking for, is there any way I can refine my unit variable cost? Okay, if I decrease my unit cost, okay, I can enjoy some profits. So I'm referring to this is the variable I want to change. And we can imagine if we want to make more profits, we need to lower the variable cost per unit. And there's a significant decrease, okay, like more than $1 down for the unit cost, like $3 something I can make. Or did you see my point? So in the book, it's only asking a break-even analysis by changing the units, but there are other ways to expand it, like targeted profits as the goal, and also you can change the variables rather than, not only the units of sales, we can looking for the price change, unit variable cost change, or even I want to change the level of my fixed cost. So for example, how much fixed cost I need to save so I can break even. Like let's do just one more in July, break even. By changing the fixed cost. Okay, you can see if we can lower the fixed cost, okay, to a certain degree, we can make a break even. Okay, then that's all of the different ways you can play with the data, working with the different departments. You may check the sales department for the pricing, with the cost, with the production, and then the facility management maybe for the fixed cost. So that's the prescriptive analysis. Okay, very powerful in the data analytics. And I will stop here for the demos. And in the project, you have some, I think, 4 different analyses. And the book has step-by-step instructions.